Hey guys, what's up? So Valve recently released a huge update for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and this update really changed lots of things. The change list is just endless. So I took the time to select only some bits of it, so I don't bore you guys going over it. I'm going over those things really fast here. It's going to be fast, and then we'll move on to some other details in game. So the weapons, regarding the weapons, the max penetration distance has been increased, which is awesome because wall banging on Counter-Strike it's a huge thing, especially on Counter-Strike 1.6, and it gives you an extra edge when you're playing, and it makes the game much more tactical and also skill-based. And I really think this should be present on Counter-Strike Go as well. So it's obvious that it's not like in Counter-Strike 1.6, but it's an intermediate version between Source and 1.6, and I'm fine with it, to be honest. But I would just tweak it slightly, okay? I would just make the penetration higher, a little bit higher, so that bigger walls could be wall banged as well. But that's just me. I'm okay with its current state, to be honest. They also increased the recoil of the AK-47, which is great. They slightly lowered the recoil and increased the accuracy of the FAMAS, which is awesome because why would I buy a FAMAS if it was an expensive weapon with a lower bullet count, 25 bullets, and highly inaccurate compared to its price? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather go with the Desert Eagle, to be honest. And yes, I'm serious. I'd rather go with the Desert Eagle than the old FAMAS, honestly. They also fixed the quick switch exploit that allowed players to bypass slow animation cycle times by switching weapons, which is great. And for me, the next change is awesome. They increased the duration of the AWP deploy animation. Because you could fire the next, like the rate of fire with the AWP was really fast, and I mean, come on, honestly it was game breaking, and now it's awesome. They also reduced the strength of the flashbang, which is great because the previous flashbang, I mean, you would get blind no matter where you were looking to, and for lots of time. The next change is regarding the animations, and I think that this should be done with every other weapon. So they updated the AWP view model firing animation. Now when you fire, the animation of the weapon moves more towards the viewer and less upwards. So which means that when you fire a weapon, it will kick towards you and not kick upwards. And I think that this should be applied to every other weapons, along with the screen shaking to the general position to where the spread is going, and also a better notion of the bullet impact on the walls. If you added these three things to the weapon, then the weapons would feel like they were alive, and that you really needed to control them, and that you could really read what you were doing with the weapons. Maybe it's just a matter of habit right now, how things are right now, I don't know, but I feel that if they added these three things, the gunplay would feel much better. Now regarding the user interface, this is one of the things I hate the most about Counter-Strike Global Offensive, is the way they change things, the way that the colors of the heads-up display blended with the general environment. I went over it on my previous video. So what they did here, they added the option on the menus to resize the HUD size. So it's awesome right now, but there's one problem. If you set the HUD size to the maximum, so you have a better notion of when you kill someone, when the money appears, the plus $300 sign appears. I wanted it to be big, since the color isn't that noticeable at all. But in order for me to put that small portion of the heads-up display big, I have to put everything big. So for example, the minimap occupies almost half of the screen. So it's really hard to decide which setting to play with. But again, this might just be a matter of habit, because they also changed the colors of the death notices, so it's easier on the eye, and you can see that you killed someone on a more intuitive way. They also, and this is really important, they removed the delay of the death notices. whenever you kill someone, you get an immediately confirmation that that player is actually dead. And for me, as a competitive player, it's really important, because you know that when you kill someone, you really need to know that you killed that player in order to change targets as fast as you can. So this was really great. So moving on to the gameplay. Now, the physics, as I said on my previous videos, you couldn't throw the bomb longer than 1 meter away from you, and now it's fixed. You can throw the bomb actually from one side to the other on long, so that you can avoid the snipers that defend on the middle. So it's awesome like this. It even gives you new options now, because the bomb really goes higher than on previous Counter-Strike versions. So this will really give you new options when you're playing on a competitive level. Speaking of tactics, you know, improvised tactics and combined tactics, this will really give you more room to maneuver. You can also throw the weapons over long distances now, but the problem is, when you are on the freeze time on the spawn, you can't jump. So as you know, when you jump and throw the weapon travels a longer distance. So you could throw the weapon to the other side of the spawn, thus your teammate doesn't have to go fetch the weapon and then head on to his position. So I really think that the only tweak necessary now would be to allow players to jump on the freeze time. The next change is the grenades. I think the sounds of the grenades are actually exactly the same now. I don't know if it's just me, but I think they are pretty much the same, which is awesome. Also, as I said before, the strength of the flashbang was reduced, and for me this is awesome as well. Awesome news. Now, one thing about the bullet impact is that if you set the server to show the impacts of the bullets, you actually feel like and want to have that option available all the time. At least that's how I feel. Like I would wish that I would see the impact where my bullets are hitting, and you can't on the Counter-Strike Global Offensive, because it's really hard to distinguish the exact place where the bullets are going. And on previous Counter-Strike, especially on Counter-Strike 1.6, you could do it. But there's a solution. Right here, as you can see, there's a yellow spark going out of the bullet hole, because you are hitting metal. I wish that Valve would do something that every other surface in the game could have a similar effect like you see on the metal, so you could see and understand where the bullets are actually going. So over the next clip, I'm gonna try all of the SMGs and all of the assault rifles, as well as the Scout and the AWP. And the reason I'm starting with the SMGs is to show you guys that Valve really went through trouble to give us other options to play with rather than the MP5, I'm sorry. It was a really reliable weapon on previous Counter-Strikes, because it had a really fast rate of fire, it was cheap, the reload was fast, and it would allow you to move while firing at the same time without giving you much of a penalty. So it was really a good option. But on Counter-Strike Go, if you guys have noticed it, the Desert Eagle is a beast of a weapon. So it's cheaper, it's more reliable, and it's more powerful than any other SMG in this game. So why bother and waste money on SMGs? So what I'm suggesting here is that the Desert Eagle seriously needs to be more skill based. Right now it's just spray and pray and you win, okay? I'm used to the Desert Eagle, to the Counter-Strike 1.6 Desert Eagle, because it's really hard weapon to master. It's not that easy. When you go in an echo round and you buy a Desert Eagle, you won't be that confident. You will have that extra confidence because it's a powerful weapon, but you won't be that comfortable playing with it, because it really requires skill to master that weapon. But on Counter-Strike Global Offensive, the weapon is really easy. It's as easy as it is on Counter-Strike Source. And for me, the Desert Eagle is that weapon you buy on the late game if you have lots of money, but especially it's the weapon you buy when you don't have money, when you lose a round and you're on an echo round, and you buy the Desert Eagle. So the echo rounds are awesome because they are really exciting. You never know what could happen. But with this Desert Eagle, you know that the echo rounds are just gonna be like a regular round, with just like when you have AKs or AWPs. because this weapon is a beast. It will fuck you up really fast, really easy. So I think this weapon should be more skill based and not as easy as it is right now, because it renders all other SMGs useless. It's just my point anyway. Now regarding the AWP and Scout, it's really great how it is right now, but the sounds, even though the sounds are similar, pretty similar, you could feel like a huge echo when you fire the AWP. And also the AWP color is green and the Scout is gray, so you can distinguish them. But I think that the AWP should have a more should be even more green. It should be greener than it is right now, so it would be much easier to distinguish. And the Scout should have a less powerful sound. I'm just saying. Probably it's just a matter of habit, because the model is completely different, the color is different, and the sound is actually different, but it's not that different. I mean, maybe it's just a matter of habit, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think they should tweak that a little bit. So that's it, guys. This is all for now. I hope that Valve keeps listening to feedback and keeps implementing that feedback, because this patch really improved the game for me. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Cheers.